Hi everyone, welcome to Academy. Today in this video we are going to look at modal verbs. Then what are the modal verbs? The verbs can, could, may, will, might, shall, should, must and ought to are called modal verbs or modals. They are used before ordinary verbs and express meaning such as permission, possibility, certainty, and necessity. Here, the ordinary verbs are V1 form, and need and dare are can sometimes be used like modal verbs. Modals are also often included in the group of auxiliaries. In some grammars, they are called as modal auxiliaries. The modal can, could, may, might, shall, should, and would, and must, and ought to are called as a defective verbs. Why we call them as a defective verbs? Because some parts are wanting in them. Some parts are wanting in them. It means some parts are lacking in them when compared to the other verbs like auxiliary verbs. When we use the auxiliary verbs for third person singular, we add s or es. But when we use the modal verbs, they have no s in the third person singular, and they don't have ing and ed forms. Let us look at the different modal verbs like can, could, their usages. The modal verb have different usages, but in this class we are going to look at some important uses of these verbs. As there are many usages for the modal verbs, we are going to look at only the important one. Let us begin. First, can. The usage of can is first ability, second requesting, third taking permission and giving permission, and the fourth one is possibility. So these are the usages of can modal verb. Let us look at the example of these usages. You can speak English. This sentence talks about the ability of that person. And second example is, can you help me? It's a requesting, informal requesting. And can I come tomorrow? Taking permission from other person, but informal again. The fourth example is, you can come tomorrow. You can come tomorrow, which is giving permission. Giving permission. And the next word is could, which is the past tense of can. We use could in the past sense of can for past abilities, requesting, taking permission, giving permission, and suggestion. The one important difference between the can and could is we use can for the ability and for the capacity, to talk about the ability and the capacity of the person, and the could is used to talk about the past ability. The examples of these usages are, first one, she said that she could not come. She said that she could not come. In this sentence, it talks about the past ability. And the second one is, could I have your number? It's a polite request asking permission. Just compare the past example of asking permission with could. There it is informal, but here asking permission or the request in a formal or in a polite way. And the next example is, I could do it now if you like. I could do it now if you like. If means the the person is ready to do the thing if the possibility is there. And the last example is we could write a letter to the director. Here it is a suggestion. And the next verb is may. The uses of may is first one uncertainty, requesting, taking permission, giving permission, and future possibility. Let us look at the examples of these usages. First one, you may start your exam now. Before you start exam, the invigilator will tell to the students, you may start your exam now. It means he informs you, he gives a permission for you to write the exam when the time starts. So which is formal. And the second one is she may come, future possibility but uncertain. She may come means we don't know whether she may come or not, which is future possibility and not certain, as we don't know whether she comes or not. And the third example is may I take this chair, polite request. Again compare with the can, could. When compared to the could with the use of could also you can give an example, could I take this chair, and even you can use may I take this chair also. Both are polite request when compared to can I take this chair. And the next verb is might. The uses of might, uncertainty, present or future possibility, and we use might in indirect speech. The examples of these usages are first one, I might attend the party. I might attend the party, which is he is not sure whether he is going to attend or not, which talks about uncertainty. And the second one is might I borrow your book? Might I borrow your book? Which is very different from the can I borrow your book or may I borrow your book. It is of the same like can I borrow the book or may I borrow the book, but here somewhat less positivity. And third example is it might rain tomorrow. It might rain tomorrow. Less possibility, positive, then it may rain. Less positive, then it may rain. And the next verb is shall. The uses of shall is it talks about the future, a command, a promise or threat to ask the will of the person addressed. This usage generally avoided. The uses of these, the examples of these usages are I shall, or we can use will also. Now, mostly nowadays the people are using for all the person will only, but you can use shall also for the first person and the second person. I shall or will be 20 next birthday, which talks about future. Second example is you shall not enter my house again, command. And the third one is you shall have a holiday tomorrow, promise. And the fourth one is you shall be punished for these, which is a threat. Just try to identify the tone in which the sentence is conveying the meaning. You shall have a holiday tomorrow and you shall be punished for this, which is promise, and the next one is the threat. Shall I open the door, which is of the fourth usage example. It is generally avoided. Instead of that, you can use do you want me to open it. And the next verb is Will. Will talks about the future, willingness, assumptions or possibility, invitation or a request, determination. These are the few uses of the will. And the examples of these usages are: you will be punished for threat. You will be punished for threat, which is the, again the usage of threat. For threatening someone, you can use shall or will. I will carry your books. I will carry your books. Means you are showing the willingness to help the other person. The third one is, I will succeed or die in the attempt. A determination you are showing. A determination you are showing. I will succeed or die in the attempt. And the fourth example is, this will be the book you want, I suppose. We are assuming or probably we are thinking that this is the book that someone, maybe your friend or your colleague, wants. It's just your assumption or the probability. And the next verb is should. The usage of should is for giving advice, prediction, duty, promise, and the obligation. The examples of these usages are: you should come 1 hour before to avoid traffic. You are giving an advice to your friend or someone. You should come 1 hour before to avoid traffic, which is the advice. Children should obey their parents, as it is their obligation and responsibility to obey the parents. I expected that I should get the first class. It is a prediction, but more often we use would. If you use should also, the sentence is correct, but more often we use would, which talks about the prediction. And the next verb is must. The usages of must is duty, obligation, necessity, a strong determination. And examples of these usages, the first one is, I must perform well in the game. I must perform well in the game. Strong determination. When we see the word will, there also we come across the usage of determination. But when compared to the will, here the usage talks about the strong determination. I must perform well in the game. There it's only determination, but here strong determination. The second usage is, you must take food to live, which is necessity. Without having food, it's really impossible to live. A person can live for a few days by drinking water or by consuming any fluids, but it's really difficult. It is a necessity. Food is the necessity. And the third example is, employees must present their progress report by evening. It is their duty or the obligation they have to submit the progress by evening. And the next verb is
would, which is the past tense of the will. The use of would, it is used to talk about past habits, willingness of the person, a wish of the person, and a request, and finally invitation. These are the common and important usages of the would modal verb. Let us look at some of the examples of these usages. The first example is, I would run for miles when I was in my childhood. This example talks about the past habit the person had, which he used when he used to run for miles when he was in his childhood. But now he may not have the habit of running for miles. The second example is, I would like to meet him, which shows the willingness of that person. The third one is, would you send me the research paper? Request, formal. When you look at the words could, may, and would, these three modal verbs are used to request and even to ask permission in a formal way and in a polite way. The final example is, I would like to work as a team leader. This example shows the willingness and wish of a person who wants to work as a team leader. The modal verbs can be understood when you practice continuously and use them in your day-to-day language. Makes it easy for you to get command over the modal verbs. Thank you.